Welcome to the stream. Let me fix this camera real quick. This is stream number 190. Can you believe that?
Kinda.
190. And still technical difficulties. You see that little splatter behind my head? What's going on here? All right, here we go. Sean, how you doing? We have Courtney and Sean on stream. Courtney?
Hey.
Hey, where's Jerry these days?
Jerry's probably busy today.
He's been on more often though. He took like a long hiatus for a while.
I wonder how things are in New York. I need a shave. My hair grows back fairly quickly, but only on the sides.
How come I have no picture? I only have the Sketch Fighters home screen.
Oh, reload it, maybe.
Oh, I reload it.
That happens. It
All
freezes
right,
on me.
welcome everybody. Welcome to Sketch Fighters. Let's see who we have here on stream today in chat. DYO Pickle. Good to see DYO Pickle. Lurky Lurk. All the way from Canada. Jamie Odell. What's up, Jamie Odell? Kevin P. West. What's up, Kevin P. West? Courtney's in chat also. D. Rogers. What's up, D. Rogers? How you doing? I'm going to be in Raleigh this weekend. Are you going to be in Raleigh this weekend? D. Rogers for New NC Comic Con. North Carolina Comic Con and Raleigh, Durham. Saturday, Sunday. James Quo is here. Good to see James Quo. Well, okay, let's do a quick vote since today is election day. Let's do a quick poll. New poll. Should we, throughout the stream, check on election results or election updates or not? Do you guys want a election-free stream?
Bernard, your bird sounds crazy.
He's voting already. Uh, 2 minutes. Let's see here. I'm torn. What do you think, Sean?
I'm too sober for this.
Courtney?
I think, well, if they want to check, you can easily find out. I think people might be coming here to kind of get away from that.
That's true.
Because I think looking at the results is going to start a discussion, and then it becomes a very political stream.
Well, do we have anyone? How many of our I think our viewers are slightly skewed in one particular direction. You know what's interesting to me, at least, is watching Instagram stories. A couple of surprises. A couple of surprises of, oh, I didn't know that person felt that way.
Oh, name some names.
Any just like more like friends rather than people. Like, so far it's a unanimous no vote news, with about 30 seconds left. Wow. Sean. Courtney. Courtney says no vote news, no election news.
I say no.
I was watching it right before this, and against my will, and I don't know. It just gives me more anxiety. I just want it to be.
There's already a ton of anxiety already.
Well, watching it, I think, or hearing more about it, just makes it go by so much slower for me, I guess. And then I get like PTSD from the last time, and so anyways.
Some of this is also just, I mean, there's a comparison. All right, I guess no has unanimously won. So no election news updates. I'll fill this up again once we get more people on. What's another good poll to have? What's the drawing tonight? I don't know, James Quo. Let's put it up to vote. Do you want to do a little sketch battle warm up, or jump right into the regular drawing? Is James Quo ready for a little match?
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. We got 10 more episodes until we hit the 200. I almost had a guest on for tonight, but he had something else came up, some personal stuff, so could not get the special guest on. I think Sean, you would have liked the special guest. One Mark
now I'm
Moretti.
curious.
Mark Moretti from our Valiant days.
Oh, okay.
So, he's also, Mark has that Hollywood Storyboards YouTube website, which you guys should watch if you guys haven't watched it yet. He hasn't posted any updates lately, but the couple, because the couple videos he has,
such a big production.
Yeah, it's a very intensive thing to edit.
It's heavily scripted, heavily edited, so I don't expect there to be any more because it must have took forever to make that.
Just to do those, yeah, because he also composited a lot of stuff in there. So, where is it? Here it is. All right, so this is Mark. Hopefully he'll come on. I don't know, next week or the week after. We'll see. Get to talk a little bit. He watches us. He watches us sometimes not live, like the next day. And he was telling me about when we were talking last week about money. You know, how people get paid and stuff like that in comparison to the storyboard industry. You know, he can chime in on both because he's worked in both, and he's worked extensively in, probably more extensively in the storyboard industry, and he can go into a lot more details about how one gets paid. But you know, he was a lead storyboard artist on iRobot, Talladega Nights, War of the World. You know, what were those cheerleader movies? You know,
Bring it on.
Yeah, he did this scene here with Tom Cruise going in and out of the minivan as they're escaping. I kind of feel like this is like eventually what the world's going to be like in 4 years.
His head, man. You gotta be a prepper. Everyone's a prepper now.
So, but you
Get
see how
those buckets of.
Hey, Jerry's.
But in this sequence, how they're moving the camera around
Jerry's.
the van. Oh, well, Jerry's here.
Jerry's here.
What's up, Jerry?
What's up, dude?
Oh, good of you to stop by. I thought you were going to be busy tonight, so.
I'm redrawing a freaking page today. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Well, how do you only answer to yourself? Who's making you redraw a page?
Yeah.
Just a little communication with the script.
Oh, jeez.
Proton.
Yeah.
That's why you should always write your own scripts.
Yeah.
Proton Factories is here tonight. Let's see who else is. He's going to be in Motor City Comic Con, Mini Motor City in Detroit. D. Rogers suggests Captain America. What should we draw this week? Is the Motor City convention in? Oh, where is it? It's not actually in Detroit. It's just outside of Detroit, right?
Motor City Comic Con is not in Detroit. That's like that should be.
Well,
that's
it's
not
like
right.
it's like in a suburb just outside of Detroit. It's not like in Detroit downtown.
That's like having a New York Comic Con in New Jersey.
Well, when they had Chicago, it was out by the airport, Rosemont. It wasn't even near
Yeah.
anywhere
That was
near.
Wizard World, though.
Before it was Wizard World, and it's still there now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but the C2E2 is
Wizard
downtown.
World was always shady. Yeah.
So we had a early poll here on stream, if asking if people wanted periodic election updates during this drawing stream, and it was unanimously no. So
No one wants to hear that. Yeah, I don't even want to get to it.
your Jimbo's here. Your Jimbo's our moderator. Good to see you, Jimbo. Oh, that's right, Novi, Michigan. Yeah, Novi. It is part of Detroit. Novi. It's like a suburb. So, I've been to Motor City Comic Con twice. So
is it a good show?
It's a good show. I mean, the first time I went, I sat next to Sean's good friend, and his fans didn't really interact with me, and
Who's this?
oh, he's your good friend, and but it was a little bit, it was a little outside of Detroit, so it's not like you can go and catch a game or something or walk around downtown. I've never been to downtown Detroit, so I'm curious. Like Kansas City Comic Con was, or Planet Comic Con in Kansas City was in middle Kansas City. It was kind of interesting. The football stadium's like 30 minutes outside. What else? Well, I have a couple commissions I need to finish. We can do that, or we can vote for a drawing to if you guys want to vote on a keeping in theme
Well,
with
we
tonight.
vote on which commission you gotta do.
Well, I have a Shang-Chi commission. I have a 2 John Stewart commissions. I have a self-portrait commission. I have a Monkey Prince commission. I have, just off of the top of my head, a Daredevil commission. I have quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a portrait of yourself. Someone paid for that.
Yeah, someone paid for like a portrait of myself. He wanted me to draw myself. I don't know if I want to do that on stream. That seems kind of narcissistic.
You paid it.
Huh?
Yeah. You're like a big time now. Someone wants a picture of you.
Well, he wanted. I mean, that's a lot of people they go into. They have these collections, right, where they where they collect a particular character or something. And this guy collects portraits of the artists that they do for themselves. So
Well, his collection's not going to be worth that much.
it's interesting. I got a chance to. Part of the fun is you get to flip through and see what some of the other people have done, and there's some good ones in there. There's some that are
kind of jokey things.
Yeah, they're kind of jokey. They're not really like serious. Serious commissions.
Yeah, I think
I mean serious portraits.
I got that guy before.
You got that guy, so you've
The guy
done
wanted
one.
me- No, I didn't do it because I didn't have time to. But he says to come up with because everyone's doing jokes, like if something funny about themselves,
Yeah.
and you also try to work in what you're most known for. So, and a lot of times people word balloons, or they're saying something funny.
Yeah, it's usually like a super D, like a big head, small body kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I was gonna do myself with the Iron Man armor,
yeah.
and then write chink in the armor. But then I just felt like maybe it was just too much. So
That
we
might be
didn't do
that
it.
might be a little that might be a little much there.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do Tony Stark's head and then your body?
Okay. All right.
Or we can warm up with a little battle with James Quo. Do a little sketch battling, sparring with James Quo.
Oh, Lee raided with 25 people.
Oh, Lee, what's up, Lee? Thank you for raiding.
Haley.
Thank you for the raid. We're considering what we should draw tonight. All right, let me put up a poll since we got Lee's here. Let's put up a quick poll, new poll since tonight is election night. What to
wanna ask
draw?
that question again?
Yeah, I really want to get some updates, man. Oh, what to draw tonight? Commission catch up.
James says he's not set up for sketching at the moment, but
Oh, he's not.
want
Okay.
to feature? Does he mean at the moment, or
Chat
different-
chooses. Or sketch, or anybody else want to come on the sketch sparring? Who wants to
Sean,
get beaten
Jerry?
up? Sean, you wanna? Jerry, you wanna do a little sketch sparring?
I'm working on this page right
I
now.
don't
Sorry.
know. BS Mallart, thank you for the chat. Ches Raw, or Ches Raws. Good to meet you. Oh, let's see here. This might be the last stream too, ever. Hence the follow button.
What happened?
Well, you know,
Because
the
we'll be
world,
hauling ass in a minivan, right, for our lives.
yeah, the world might end. Did you see that? Didn't you see the video there?
Yeah, I mean, you think we'll be rounded up and put in an internment camp?
Well, here's the thing: is they're actually gonna build internment camps on the southern border. So, to
It's not good for us. I'm sure it's not going to be good for us.
it's not good for us. It's not good for us. Well, let's see. Well, how's the poll going? What to draw so far? Chat chooses is leading. Ooh, I feel like we're in a deep chat state here.
There was Absolute Superman.
Oh, Absolute Superman. Let me pull up Absolute Superman. Let me see. What does Absolute Superman look like?
I don't know if people care about Absolute Superman.
Yeah. We were talking
But
a
it
couple
comes out
weeks ago
tomorrow.
about Absolute Batman and those pages selling for over 300,000. I don't think Absolute Superman's going to sell for that. But is he like big and clunky like the Absolute Batman, or no? No. So it's not really And what's Absolute Superman like? Why is he absolute? Like, what's is he from Krypton or?
I don't think anyone knows because it's not out yet. So I don't know what his deal is.
Okay, well, the poll is over. Looks like wow, overwhelmingly chat chooses won. Sketch sparring is like the RFK option here. 1% or 3%.
That's okay. He'll be in charge of our health soon, so wonderful.
I'll be in North Carolina this weekend for I think the last show of the year. All right, so well, chat. Let's throw up some options. What do you guys want me to draw? Absolute Superman being one of them. What else?
Well, what's wrong with Absolute Batman if he's so much cooler?
I could draw Absolute Batman. I haven't drawn Absolute Batman yet. And then should we give it away, or if there's room for a claim, we can claim it, but we'll give it away if no one claims it. Hmm. See, being a sports fan, in 2016, I went to sleep early on election night, thinking that, well, there's no way, right? I'm gonna go to sleep early. I've been up working all night the night before. Wake up in the middle of the night with a pretty big surprise. So, and then 2020, I didn't go to sleep because I didn't want to repeat the same. Everybody has to do their own, right? It's like when you're watching sports, like if my team is winning and I'm watching it downstairs, I can't go upstairs. I have to stay downstairs and watching it.
Yeah, you gotta do it for the team,
right?
Man.
Yeah. If if they're losing, then I gotta go watch upstairs. Try to change the mojo. Everybody's got to do their little part in the whole universe, right? So were we talking about this in New York, Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's got to do their
Be
part.
a good little mixture.
Yeah, you got like your own little rally cap. So, so I got to stay up tonight, even though I've been up all night working. Got Power Man #1 out the door, although there's some revisions I got to make tonight. I'm working on Blood Train, and I got Power Man #2. And this weekend, also Weekend in Taipei is a movie coming out. I did some artwork for that. Let me show that. While we're. So chat, why don't you guys come up with some suggestions on what to draw? Kevin P. West says Absolute Batman. D. Rogers says Captain America. I drew him last election. Oh, maybe I should draw. I gotta draw Captain America again. If I drew him last election.
Do it, please.
Yeah, I think D. Rogers. I think you got it right there. That's pretty much that's. I hate to say it, folks, but again, if we're going to talk about, so this movie is coming out this weekend. Jerry, have you seen advertisements for this movie?
Not just on social media and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen any commercials? I haven't seen. I mean, I haven't really watched TV, but this is Sung Kang's newest. So this is going to be on Boba Guys. Is there Boba Guys in the East Coast, or only is that LA thing?
They have it in the East Coast too.
Oh, so if you go to Boba Guys this weekend, they're all wearing a T-shirt with this artwork on it, featuring the characters. There's Sung Kang. This guy is the Sung Kang's main gangster dude. This is a character named Joey. She's a very popular Taiwanese actress, and this is their son. And it's a big action flick. So I guess I gotta draw Captain America.
Superstitious, right?
Yeah. What was Captain? I gotta look up what was Captain America doing in my drawing last year.
And also look at what you were wearing. So that's important too.
Well, I think it was a green. It was a cap. It was a green shirt. So, right. I think if we're going to go by superstition, the last time the Dodgers won the World Series was 2020. So maybe that has something to do. Hopefully that'll have something to do with it. Let me see. Should I do the same exact drawing or just do another Captain America drawing?
Do the same drawing. He was rain in orange. Is that true?
Was he what?
He was in the rain.
He was the draw.
Oh, he was in the rain.
Captain Orange.
Yeah, I think he was in the rain.
Oh, I remember that. Sure.
Was I upset? Was I as down? So it's taking a while to upload this. college basketball season's right around the corner. This is not pulling up. Let's see here. Slowly but surely, it's pulling up. Wait, that's New York Comic Con already. Are you guys sure I drew Captain America last year? I didn't post it. Did I not post it?
Not sure 4 years ago.
Or it was 4 years ago. I can't find it. That's
Yeah. 4 years ago. I mean,
4 years ago.
the stream isn't. Yeah, that was during the early days of the stream.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do a Captain America. Thank you, D. Rogers, for reminding me. Chat. Let's see. Chat can chime in. What do you guys want Captain America to be doing?
I'm punching orange.
I second that.
Punching the big orange. And then, and which I guess I'm assuming I drew Steve Rogers as the Captain America.
Oh, D. Rogers found the image November 4th, 2020.
Oh, okay. All right. Did he put up a link to it?
Let's have D. Rogers back.
So how does D. Rogers show us? Oh, I guess you can put it on.
Can you copy the link and put it on the chat? There it is. Thanks. Thanks, D. Rogers. Are you going to be in Raleigh, by the way? I'm going to grab a drink. Okay, yes, I remember this one. All right. Yeah, it was a very somber Captain America. It wasn't looking good 2020 around this time of day, around this time of night. It was not looking good. I remember after the
you gotta take down your Google screen.
Well, what were we talking about last week? Was there something that we were talking about last week that?
I just remember you love Bush.
Huh?
Your love for Bush.
My love for
President
Bush.
Bush.
It was no, it was my love for Bob Dole.
Oh, that kind of Bush. Holy crap.
Yeah, it was. Let me pull out of here. Oh, I thought we were gonna maybe. All right. Oh, interesting. No difference. All right. Captain America it is. Well, last time he was raining. Huh?
Just trace it.
Should, right? I'll do the same similar pose. Let me do a similar pose, but 4 years later, let's see if I've improved drawing wise. I think last stream we talked a little bit about regression. I had a brief conversation with Jerry about regression in New York.
Wait, in terms of artwork? What do you mean with regression?
In terms of, from an artist's perspective, you know, like an athlete, eventually your time's going to come.
Oh, yeah.
From an artist's perspective, there are moments where drawings aren't coming together as fast as they should. Flaws and the deficiencies in the drawing. The realization of there are fewer days ahead than they were behind. Is that the right way of saying it?
Dark.
Jesus. Well, I think the biggest factor is whether you're just over it, like you're just tired of doing it anymore. And then so you start phoning it in, but you don't know you are, but you just won't go the extra mile that you used to, and that's when it's most visible.
Well, I don't even think it's like going the extra mile. So it was. What if you can't go the extra mile? What if you can only go the extra?
I think you can
There's
if
a
you
pill
wanted
for
to.
that.
I mean, nowadays sometimes drawing is a struggle. At least for me.
Well, definitely you slow down for sure. I mean, you just can't do those 2 all-nighters in a row as much anymore.
And yeah,
There's a pill for
and I find like drawings. You know, they're just not coming out as smooth. I mean, the images are still smooth in the head, perhaps, or at least the thought of the image, because sometimes I think about a drawing or pose or something, and I might not see it completely in my head, but there's a little bit of an imagination, a little bit of the drawing formulating in my head. But then
Well,
drawing it
I
doesn't
think
match.
there's another thing that kind of happens where there's a time when everyone, like when you're younger, you draw like Jeff Darrow and you put all the detail, like you draw like 1,000 little rocks in every single hair, and that's cool to someone who's young. But then when you get older, you start thinking like, wow, that's all just, there's no purity in
Wow,
just
you're saying
capturing the
Jeff Darrow
essential.
has no purity in his work?
Well, no, but that's the thing is that's his style, right? So everyone drew like that in the beginning, and then when they get older, they go, I want to be more like Mike Mignola, or like Alex Toth. It gets simpler and simpler and simpler because there's a feeling that you mature in your style, but what you don't realize is just easier because it's less work. So I think you still have to keep in touch with that younger you that was really still into all that detail.
Well, I mean, I think it's actually like, I mean, also the definition of what is the younger me? Is the younger me you're talking about like in the 90s or in the 2010s? Because,
Well,
I mean, in the
for me,
90s,
it's
I was
very
only
easy.
penciling.
Everyone will always associate me with Iron Man, and that was sort of what people consider my height. And no matter what I do from now on, it's not going to be anything close to that. So I think most people consider like my best days long behind me. That was like a couple decades ago.
Well, what did you do?
But Sean, do you actually feel like your best days are behind you? All kidding aside.
I think that's the public perception, but I don't think so. I think I'm way better than I was before, but it doesn't really matter because back then it was Marvel. It was the 120,000 in sales. So I think people just kind of get stuck on that forever. And that's true with almost everyone who does their best work seemingly in their 30s. But I think like Bob Dylan probably thinks he's doing his best work now, and then the Beatles probably moved on and became solo singers. They thought they're doing the best work, but really people just want more Beatles.
Well, I think you're talking about a nostalgic component. I've said oftentimes that the comic book industry is very rides on a similar wavelength as the wrestling business, in the fact that when you first watch it or when you first get into it, there's an excitement factor, and then when you get older, you might step away from it, and when you do come back to it, a lot of the same wrestlers are still wrestling. I mean, Hulk Hogan's still wrestling, right? Ric Flair wrestled until he was like 70, right? Or 60 something. So you still have a lot of the older guys in the business, and when you're watching them, like Hulk Hogan, like technically is not a great wrestler. He just has the same moves. Ultimately, he has the leg drop. He'll lift you up for like a body slam, hit you a couple times. He'll go down. Basically, his script is that he'll get beaten up a little bit, and when you think he's gonna lose, the Hulkamaniacs and the crowd start cheering, and then he starts getting pumped up, and then the bad guy starts hitting him, and when it's like no effect, and the more the bad guy hits him, the stronger he gets, and he stands up, and he like clotheslines the guy, throws him off of the side ropes, and then does a big leg drop, and then it's over, right? So. Um,
So the fact that they can have careers way into old age kind of means that they're not real athletes, because real athletes don't last that long at all.
well, it's a performance. Yeah, it's a performance.
Right. So, but I mean, if this were basketball or football, like how long is their career?
I mean,
And at least we're not athletes.
well, Jerry, do you watch the Big Three, the 3-on-3 league, when they have bring out the
No.
old guys?
No.
It's not great basketball. It's
Yeah,
'cause,
it's washed up basketball.
yeah, there's a lot of like jump shots instead of like dunks. There's older guys that are not even that old. I mean, they're like in their late 30s or 40s, and they're not like it's just not fun to watch. You're watching it for the nostalgic aspect of maybe seeing one of those players that you really love back in the day hitting a shot in maybe a similar kind of fashion. But yeah, so all right, so we got the reference up.
But you know, if we were jazz musicians, we would be hitting our stride like around 70.
I think you guys are still in your prime, but I think like any work, mostly corporate or something else, if you do something for 20, 30 years, you kind of either learn to do it faster and easier or delegate work, or you just become somebody who, it's kind of a different mind frame than the one that you had in the very beginning. But also, I always was wondering about how much other influences influence your work. I think you can't help but see other artwork that's more popular now, and how that influences your style kind of changing. Because I could see Bernard's style changing, even the past 4 years, even a little longer than that. Sean, yours is pretty. I don't think anybody would say that your art style is better than ever. I don't think, and it's probably more yours than ever too. So I don't know if anybody would say that like you're washed up in any ways, or you hit your,
You're washed up.
yeah.
Sean.
I don't think anybody would say that, but so I don't think anybody would look at your artwork and be like, no, you were better, 15 years ago. I don't think that's, I haven't seen any, and I've seen other artists that definitely had that issue. But, just think about how other art now affects your art too, because I noticed that, when I draw too, I was like, things kind of change, but I don't know what you guys think about that.
I do think as an artist, you have to continue to grow. If you stay the same,
Yeah.
if your style stays the same, it's still a constant evolution. I think Sean's what he's talking about too is what is he known for? I mean, what was the
But
last?
he said
Well,
his best time was then. I don't think that's his best time. I don't think anybody thinks that's your best time, but it was a good run.
like Sean's most popular work is Iron Man. Is that what Sean is trying to say? What is he most known for?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
But what is
It's
the
not
Because
right.
it's like one of the major comics though at the time.
Well, yeah. So, Sean, what was the last regular work that you had? Was it
Was
was it
one of your leftovers.
was it Batman
When
Beyond?
you move on, I would take. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It wasn't Teen Titans, right? So
Yeah, it was Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond, that was 2000 17, 16. So
Yeah, I think so.
like 7 years ago. So part of that is also, and even then, it was just like it wasn't like it wasn't like a big meaty run, right? It was just, I mean, it was how many issues was it?
Basically,
Like 6.
practically filling in. Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, Iron Man. When you were at Marvel, what were the big runs that you had?
It was Iron Man and Wolverine. So Iron Man was most of 3 years, and Wolverine was most of 2 years.
You had a fucking 3-year run and a 2-year run.
Oh, but back when that's what people did. But these days, you
That's
don't stay
crazy.
down that long.
Well, that was what we were talking about last week too,
Yes.
about Capullo's comment. You know, about the work schedule.
Oh, that's right. We're talking about that.
And you know, it is working as an artist in comics, in mainstream comics. You know, it's a monthly gig, right? If you get on a monthly book, that's ideal, because then that means you have guaranteed work every month. That means you have guaranteed income every month, and then it's up to you to. Did I end up with a similar kind of angle as the other drawing? Shit, it is.
Do you not like this?
Very
You
similar,
don't like this angle?
Very similar angle.
I say give him a lollipop.
Yeah.
A lollipop.
James asked, didn't Sean do some Iron Fist comics recently?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't even know. I did Iron Fist.
You remember what you did?
You did an issue of Iron Fist, or,
Yeah.
or was it a couple of issues?
I think it was a couple. I think the artist that they was got sick or something,
Oh,
and then
right.
I had to step in.
It was like an Asian dude, right?
Yeah. So Alyssa Wong hooked me up with that gig, and she hooked me with that gig because you hooked me up with what was it that book we did about all Asian creators and characters.
In DC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you
Festival of Heroes. Or
did.
something.
Yeah, Heroes. Festival of Heroes.
So I think you floated my name to the editor, and they hooked me up with Alyssa Wong, and then we did a story there. And then Alyssa Wong went on to do Iron Fist, and then
Oh,
when
so
that artist got sick, then she thought of
recommended
me.
you. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Wow, that one's come together fast. You're already doing details.
I actually still I colored it last time.
So it looks like you gotta bust out the watercolors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Oh man, we're gonna be here all night.
Do it for America.
Show your young self that you haven't lost it. You can actually still get all the way to coloring stage.
I wonder. I'm not looking at the drawing from before. I did look at it, but now I'm just doing this version. I'm wondering how similar, or how this guy looks already a little bit more happier than the first one. I don't know if I should.
I think the angle was different in the other one, if I'm remembering it.
Angle is slightly different.
I could be remembering it wrong.
There's a link in the chat.
Oh.
February, I'm going to have 3 books out. the Captain America book.
February is Bernard Chang month.
And we're gonna have the Jerry. We didn't even talk about it at New York. We gotta wrap
The
up.
art show.
Yeah, what that art show is gonna be because I'm gonna
Yeah, Larry Hama's going to join us. That's the only progress I've made.
well, what are we gonna do?
Chinese mythology, my friend.
But
And,
is it
I only.
but Larry is
Say what?
Japanese.
Yep. And Jerome is Filipino.
What?
Hey, you need
Taiwanese Filipino. Filipino Taiwanese?
Well,
Is he?
He's Filipino.
But does he have a Taiwanese passport or he only has a Filipino passport?
Well, I don't know actually, but he grew up in Taiwan when he was very young, but he wasn't there for that long.
Oh, was he born there or he just grew up there?
That I'm not sure. I actually never asked him if he was born there. But I'll be seeing him in a couple days, so
Okay. Because I need to lock that down. I need to start on that because I'm going to be possibly traveling.
Sean, you're still in, right?
What is this?
Come on, man.
I think I remember you saying something, but we didn't have a concept or anything, right? Is this the?
The Pearl River thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Um,
just tell me what to draw. I'll draw it.
Well, you got design. There's a little bit of design and there's a little bit of. So is it just? Are we just going to do one drawing or? Huh? Razzle dazzle.
Yeah, I was thinking we could have we each do one piece that will be hung in the Chelsea Market area, and then in the gallery in Chinatown, we'll have prints of our other pieces as well as prints of the new one as well. Well, everything's going to be prints, so I don't think anyone should hang up their original. But
Cool.
yeah, so the new piece will be in both locations. And then
So wait. So how many? So how many pieces do we have to do?
one.
One. Okay. And that's going to
Yeah.
be the new piece, the Chinese mythological character.
Correct the mundo.
And set in a period piece or set in modern day New
I
York?
was thinking Chinatown.
Set
Yeah,
in Chinatown, modern day New York. Okay. Like what they would be doing. Or that's
Yeah.
up to the artist.
Yeah. They could be gambling, they could be eating, whatever, karaoke, basketball.
Oh, basketball, playing in Columbus Park.
Yeah.
Okay. Lee said he had dinner with Ric Flair. Whoa, shit, that's fucking sweet.
Whoa.
How did that happen?
Woo!
Woo! Some wrestlers take a low-impact approach to wrestling to prevent injury and last longer. Otherwise, you're looking at roids and painkillers. Yeah, so I mean, like I watch a lot of like documentaries on wrestlers. Like Ricky Steamboat was my favorite wrestler at one point.
Yeah.
Because he was like the only Asian.
I think wrestlers are athletes, by the way. I think what
they
do
are
is very
athletes.
grueling.
There is a physical component to what they do. It is very theatrical. But their performance, like so, and they work in many different ways. Watching the documentary on Ricky Steamboat, he used to write down all of his moves before the match. He'd go over with the opponent. They would figure out ahead of time. It was mandated who was going to win, who was going to lose, and then they would draft up a script of all the moves that they would go through, step by step, and then in their heads kind of go through that motion. And then when they got out there, that's when they executed. And one of the greatest matches ever was Ricky Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania. And that was like a 45-50 minute contest or something like that. And every single step they had actually memorized. Both him and Macho Man had memorized every single move that they were going to make in that match beforehand. And so it was so well choreographed. The storytelling in terms of, who you're rooting for, if they're going to win, if they're going to lose, if they're going to come back. Um, it's tremendous. So there are ones that really do work on their craft. And then you have Hulk Hogan, who just comes in there and leg drops someone. So, I mean, Hulk Hogan was.
Yeah, but he eats his vitamins every day.
Yeah, he was notorious for not planning ahead.
Oh, I see. Cozy Art's talking about in Stockton Con. There is always a bunch of wrestlers there, and then there's always a dinner at this Filipino place
Oh,
that is owned by someone who was related to that one Filipino artist that passed. Who's that guy again? It's a Filipino comic book artist, one of the biggest ones. And
Linnell?
it's his family restaurant. No,
Wiltz?
this is like a one that passed away. Old time.
Oh, the guy that.
Back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he just passed away like this year or last year, right?
No, I think it was a while ago.
Was it a while ago? By the way, we were talking about how much money comic book artists make. Did you guys see this?
All the dollar bills.
No. Look at this guy here.
Yeah, it varies wildly.
Shoot. Huh? Who? Look at this guy here.
Tony Dizenga. Just look at him. His widow runs a restaurant.
Tony the Zinga. Zuinga, yeah.
And so in the back room, there's like a little
Wow.
museum with all of his artwork.
Wow. So, a comic book artist owns a Ferrari 296 GT.
Okay.
Let's,
So that
that
means
means he's more.
we're gonna have cars like that, right?
that's our buddy Linnell.
Okay, Neil. I mean, yeah, he's done very well for himself. The exchange rate doesn't hurt, and
Does he come from money? Also, it
no,
looks
not
like
at
he was married. Does his wife have money?
He's married. I don't know.
did you see
Look at that car.
his pad?
It's 250.
He's got a great
Not that
plate.
much.
Huh? He's got a what?
Maybe he just works really hard.
And the money is it's a double-edged sword because he doesn't really draw that much anymore. But if you ask him like, are you still in the game? He's like, yeah, enjoying life. Then he
Yeah,
would color from time to time and works digitally now. So
yeah. He doesn't draw that much. He has a. He lives in the Philippines now, right? Or is he in Japan? But yeah, look at this. Anyways,
pictures of his apartment. It's really nice.
is this his apartment right here?
I think so. He's like waiting for his $14,000 count to show up or something.
Yeah.
He put.
And is this Philippines or is this Japan? Because I thought he was in Japan for a while.
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
Well, that doesn't necessarily look like Japan in the city.
That doesn't look like Japan. It doesn't look like Japanese apartments or condos.
Right.
Good for him. He's well deserved.
If you're in the Philippines, you can, your money goes a long way.
That's a
long way.
$300,000 car. So
Pocket change, Bernard. Pocket change.
yeah. Although I don't know how it is in the Philippines, but I know in Taiwan, like if you were to buy a car in Taiwan, the import tax is like through the roof. So, like what?
That's why we don't have a Ferrari.
Well, I mean, it's like, to get a Volkswagen is like the price of a Porsche over there in Taiwan, in some cases. Anyways, all right. Yeah, this is not going to become another storm shadow. I think. Where's my pencil?
Almost done.
Well, I still got to color it.
I like how it's pretty clever to put that shield up front in case you needed to draw those scales.
The shield covers up most of his body, so we're good. We're good on that. Well, what else were we talking about? I mean, I don't think there's a lot of monthly books, anyways, anymore these days. You does a lot of movie concept art. Oh, okay. Well, so if that's the case, that industry definitely does pay a little bit better.
Jim has a good point. Because he worked with Mark Millar. Back in the time, Mark Millar would get his artists by saying that he consistently makes his artists a millionaire when they work with him.
Possibly, some of that money could be from the Netflix deal. Their page rates are definitely pretty good. Part of what we were talking about the other week too was like, well, if you get a raise in your page rate, it doesn't necessarily, you almost want to put more time into the work. So it means it's taking longer to draw. Part of the balance is drawing a book within a specific time frame to generate a particular level of income. I'm curious one of these days if there'll ever be like a summit of comic book artists where we talk about
a union.
Huh?
A union?
Not necessarily like a union, but like a summit, like a get together. At some kind of conventions. We usually do this at mid to small size shows. So a lot of times the artists get together and chit chat, have dinner, talk shop. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes, right? Wrestlers can get health insurance through SAG-AFTRA if they are employed by producers who have signed collective bargaining agreements with SAG. To qualify, wrestlers must meet eligibility requirements, pay applicable premium. Once eligible wrestlers receive a notice of quality. Yeah, so, I mean, when we get Mark, we're going to get Mark. Oh, Jerry wasn't here earlier. I almost had Mark Moretti on the stream today, but something came up.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's going to come on and talk a little bit about storyboards. And, storyboards artists have a union. And to get in a union, you have to work on a union film or project. To get in a union project, you have to be a union member. So there's a slight catch-22 to get in. But Jerry, you had a nice conversation with Mark a few years ago, right? About doing storyboards and stuff. And Mark is basically he taught himself how to do storyboards and then climbed the ladder and got all the way to the Mount Everest of the storyboard community. So, and there again, you have a union that you pay dues to join. You have to accumulate X number of hours every year, once you're a union member. I'm assuming, and Mark can correct me on this when he comes on. And you'll receive retirement benefits. You receive health care at that time, which but you have to like qualify for, I think, a particular level of union membership. I think it's similar to like SAG-AFTRA, SAG, the Screen Actors Guild. The actors, there's a union, and in the acting union, you don't start out in the union, but you work on projects. Sometimes you can work on a union project without being a union member, but then you can only work on, I think, 3 union projects as a non-member until you have to then decide whether you join the union or you don't join the union. And at that point, if you don't join, then you can't join forever, I think. And then if you do join your union, you pay your dues, but then even once you're in the union, in order to qualify for something like health insurance, you have to work X number of months a year, which is somewhat more consistent. So there's a huge group of union actors that don't have health insurance. And then there's a sizable group that does. And every year you have to pay, I don't know what the fee is, but like I think it's a few $1,000s or so to be a member. And then, but it qualifies you for union projects. So, and there are benefits to being
That's
in
the important thing.
Huh?
We don't get anything in comics. That's the important thing.
Nothing. You gotta. Everybody's on their own. So you're discouraged from talking to people about stuff, and then there's also, I try talking to people about stuff at times, and people are sometimes reluctant. What do you think of this light thing here? You guys have any?
What light thing?
This big bulbous.
Oh, his temporal lobe.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think all drawings need that. I think one thing that all great drawings have, especially in the coloring, is that band of light that just is basically completely white that goes down one side of the body. Like, you never really think of that until you notice it.
I find myself, I tend to draw things similarly at points, especially when I'm working on a book, because once you start, basically it's like you got to keep going.
I just checked the poll update. I'm sorry.
No, Jerry.
Oh, God. Holy fuck.
Jerry. We're doomed.
It don't look good, Jerry?
Not at all. There was a software issue at Pennsylvania.
That's not too bad, right?
Trump wins Kansas and Iowa.
That was kind of predictable.
Well,
Yeah.
we're hoping Iowa.
Oh yeah, there was.
There's a slight hope of Iowa. Wisconsin and Minnesota. Wow. Oh, but only 9% of the vote is in Minnesota.
Yeah, only 9%. That's not right. We're not supposed to do. The chat didn't want this.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry guys.
That was an early vote. We should put up another vote. How many people? We got a lot more people watching now.
All right.
New
all right.
poll. The election updates.
Just gonna keep polling until you get the result you want.
Wow.
Did you like that movie, The Iron Claw? I mean, I love watching that.
I thought it dragged on.
So tragic. It was so. I mean, each one of those his sons basically really cursed.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't realize that.
but you like the movie?
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of. I don't follow wrestling, but it's really the human story that I was into. I thought it was great.
I thought the movie, because I remember the Von Erichs when I was kind of the height of when I was a teenager watching WWF at the time, and so one of the Von Erich brothers got into the WWF. The rest of them were very regional wrestlers, so unless you were really into it, then you don't know some of these other guys. Like Ric Flair was not part of the WWF; he was part of WCW, and so WWF was on MTV, was on Saturday Night. They actually took over Saturday Night Live for a little bit.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
And so they had the much more domestic, like nationwide exposure. So you're more familiar with those wrestlers. You should actually watch the documentary because the movie combines. There's actually another Von Erich brother, and but very it was good acting. I mean, Zac Efron, man, he really like.
That was great. He was great.
He really. I need that six pack. I'm in the opposite direction of Zac Efron. I have not exercised in like 2 weeks, so not that I'm proud of it.
Well, why would you break the streak? Just keep it alive.
Actually, all the way up until maybe 3 weeks, because New York was 2 weeks ago, right? Okay, so no updates. Overwhelmingly, 67%.
Yes.
Oh,
This
wait.
is a mistake.
I didn't vote. Oh, I can't vote.
It's
anymore.
too late. So
Okay.
no updates. Yeah, no updates still. Okay.
Oh, I feel sick.
Why did something just happen?
No, just thinking about it. I'm so sad.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, wow. Has anything flipped? Nothing's flipped.
It's too early, anyways. It's way too early.
There's a series called Dark Side of the Ring that details the tragedies in wrestling. Yeah, there's a bunch in the like Netflix or Amazon documentaries. So I would recommend watching some of that stuff. Maybe even you might like the Ric Flair documentary on Netflix. Anything else?
About your drawing there, that's not really comic book drawing, right? Because you're doing shades of gray with a pencil, right?
Yeah, technically this would not be a drawing I'm doing for. If I were, I drew Captain America, so this technically would not be a Captain. I wouldn't be going into this shading. This is too much detail. This is only
Only
for
young Bernard could do this.
This is only for commission.
But what would you do in that area that's the lightest shade of, like
Well-
on his temple and on his neck? It's just hatching. You can do it in hatching with pen, right? But would you do that, or would you just leave it open?
I did do some of the hatching in the Power Man book, so I was experimenting with a little bit of hatching.
Is it because he's black? Like in Charlie Brown. Maybe I draw Franklin. He has hatching all over his face.
Oh,
It was more so because it was in space. I mean, the skin color does help lend to it because it's naturally there's a lot of like light and dark. Whereas, if it's like a white character going overly extreme with hatching, it can be overly dramatic, right? You think that there's an extreme light source or something happening.
Oh, you left.
Oh, I'm gonna take off now, guys. Sorry, I gotta watch this presidential stuff.
All right, Jerry.
Don't do it to yourself. Oh my god.
Just have a drink or something.
Jerry, you want to have a drink? Should we have a drink? I'm gonna go to sleep after this.
I was drinking before this, so.
I gotta see what's going on. I'm kind of worried. I'm not really looking forward to being told to go back to my mother and country tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna get used to hearing that.
Lord.
But all right. Anyway, happy holidays, everyone. This is a nice drawing, Bernard. And
Happy
yeah,
holidays.
talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Happy holidays.
As happy as it can be.
Seriously.
For the most part, I was talking to a friend that's in the city that works in the city government, and his he wasn't optimistic, and he said, "Well, as long as you still live in California, you can still be somewhat shielded from some of the effects, and as
We have
long as
laws.
huh?
We have laws, certain laws from certain things put in place.
Well, and as long as
certain
you
laws for women's rights too.
yeah, and as long as you maintain a particular income bracket, you can be somewhat shielded from the effects, but it does.
Well, if you're rich, then you're always shielded.
But people forget.
You're a guy.
It's always
rich.
the poor. It's always. I feel for the poor, for the people, the women in Alabama, for the women in Texas, for everybody. That's mostly who I feel with. I think for the most part, I know I will probably be okay unless, and also all people of color who do, have run-ins with super racist people. Like,
Well, a curious thing
and not
though.
becoming more acceptable.
I have a question that's kind of curious. Maybe Jimbo might know the answer, or Sean. Like 8 years ago, there was a lot of QAnon talk. I haven't heard anything about QAnon. I mean, has that thing been put to rest, or is that just still kind of lingering? Have people accepted that the QAnon was not the secret government person, but some half Asian, half white dude living in Japan, expat?
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was like some 20 something year old half Asian, half white kid living in Japan. When he was pretending to be this deep level government official, leaking all these things. Then prior to that, during the Obama years, there was this whole Tea Party issue with the Tea Party people. But you don't hear anything about Tea Party anymore. So has the Tea Party just completely absorbed the Republican Party? And they are, in fact, the quote-unquote Tea Party now? Do you guys remember any of that stuff?
I don't.
Sean, you don't remember any of the Tea Party or QAnon stuff?
Well, I remember the QAnon stuff. I think eventually the truth comes out, and if something is not real, it's hard to sustain. I do think in time the word gets out that they should really question that stuff, and then the light always shines through in the end.
Shesdros also
in the meantime
says,
does a lot of damage.
Well, I don't think the light shines through in the end. I think that's just a bunch of that person is going to be get his karmic. That doesn't. Bad guys win. I don't know. Shesdros, the Queen of Canada. Yeah, remember that? I mean, there was this lady in Canada that was like during the I think it was not this last one, but the one before, where she was saying that she was going to be the queen of Canada, and having all these conspiracy theories about Trudeau and yeah. So the Tea Party merged into the QAnon stuff. It seemed like, right, and then but the QAnon was disproven in the sense that the guy was outed, but then there weren't a lot of like consequences out of that, in a sense that, at least from my perspective, the people that were following these QAnon things, they're still voting. There should be like a penalty.
Because there were conspiracy theories. And I think everybody who believed in it either kind of just let it go or they turn it into a different conspiracy theory. That's the problem with those things, is like they're almost never ending. Nobody really comes to their this guy could have been arrested or could have been outed, but people behind it would be like, oh well, that's the fall guy. They'll make up excuses. Whoever believes in that shit. So, but yeah, since technically, I don't know, unless somebody sues them and for like slander, then that's the only way, that's the only justice that can really happen. Look at Trump. Like he incited January 6th, and he's not facing anything. Although we have other people in jail for that never pulled the trigger, never picked up a knife, but also partook in inciting violence. So I don't know. People get away with it.
I think the other question is afterwards, in the next year or so, how much are we going to find out about misinformation from outside sources, and or, by the way, if you're watching this for the first time, make sure you hit that follow. I mean, technically the title of the stream is that this is the last stream possibly ever. We'll see. I mean, what would happen if we don't stream anymore? You guys would have your Tuesday nights off. What would you guys do with your time? Courtney, what would you do with your Tuesday night time if we didn't stream anymore?
Cry.
Would you start your dance stream finally?
I need to do that. Yeah, I do want to do that. If I was a real friend, Bernard, I'd start the stream and then stream at the same time.
Oh yeah, and then get Sean to co-host. And then you tell me you didn't know that we were streaming at the same time.
I didn't know. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't have known that.
Sean, what would you do on your Tuesday nights?
Draw.
Draw.
That's too much work to do, and draw too slow.
What are you drawing? Issue what of Evermind now?
So I'm not working on that. It's mostly card sets. It's Ultraman card set.
Card sets? What are you doing card sets for?
Iron Man.
They pay a lot, don't they?
Yeah, it's like those illustrations for money. Yeah.
Why aren't you working on Evermind?
I don't know. I guess there's just other work to do. So
yeah, but the other work
I have to get back to it seriously.
The other work is unimportant work.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I've stopped picking up other jobs, but
I mean, all that other stuff, that'll still be there. You can still, anytime you need, you can pick up a phone or an email, hit an email, and you'll get that work.
Yeah. Well, so they asked you to do the Ultraman card, right? But you didn't. You didn't do it.
Ultraman?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody asked me. The 2 sets that they asked me to do were canceled. Did they?
No, that's Upper Deck. But Ultraman is Jeff Gomez.
Oh, right. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
So yeah, so you heard how much they were paying, right? So
I don't remember. Was it more than? I'm assuming it was more than the Marvel,
yeah,
the Upper Deck stuff.
yeah, Upper Deck is really cheap. So unfortunately,
Is it? It's a page rate. It's comparable to a page rate for one
it's
card. Wow.
2 times my page rate. Yeah,
Two times the page rate for a card. Wow. Shit.
Even I knew that, Bernard.
How many cards are you doing?
Well, look, if you want to get in on it, there's more of those. You know, there's 2,000 monsters in Ultraman. Like, I only found out that there's more than one Ultraman, which is
There's more
bizarre.
than one. Yeah.
'cause-
There's even like a Ultra Woman, I think.
yeah, but when you were watching Ultraman, it was just that one basic Ultraman, right? So you
Well,
never really saw.
I
any
think
of
that's because we only saw like whatever version came out here. I mean, by the time it came out here in the U.S., they already had multiple seasons in Japan. But I've seen like toys of various Ultraman, so I know that the TV show that I watched, which was only maybe like a dozen or 2 dozen episodes.
Yeah, that's all I saw.
Right? But that's only like one season. And then there's the other seasons where they've expanded, and then the manga, and then the anime, and then. Did you watch the Ultraman Shin Ultraman movie?
Oh, so I didn't watch any ones after that, but when I was doing it, they kept on sending me like reference for the Ultraman that I'm drawing, and then I thought it was gonna be like the basic Ultraman, which isn't that hard to draw, but the ones they were getting me to draw were just crazy difficult, like so much detail and so difficult. And they sent it to Japan, and that the Japanese company like put it under a microscope instead of
Oh, really?
say like
Wow.
this.
That puts you know about that shit.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that going on, and then they were really hard. But just out of curiosity, I started trying to look up every single Ultraman and see what they look like,
Yeah.
and then I thought, like, is it just me, or am I being given all the difficult ones?
Probably.
Probably.
In New York Comic Con, I saw Jeff Gomez. He came by and he like thanked me for all the work, and I was like, hey, I want to ask you, do you think you're just like sending me all the difficult ones? And then he's like, oh, of course, because you're Sean Chen. And then he walked away.
Yeah.
And,
That's your Iron Man
and I didn't
reputation,
know,
Sean. You're the pro.
but
See,
isn't
you
that
still
kind of
got it.
illegal?
Meanwhile, you were looking for what do you call that? An easy cash grab.
Yeah.
And then
But
they're
yeah,
like,
there's lots of revisions.
well, they're like, oh man, all right, let's get him the hard stuff because the other guys can't draw this. Well,
Yeah, and then so Art Adams is doing one too, and then so now they said they're going to move on to the villains, which are like the monsters, and there's way more monsters, and I'm like thinking like how many could there possibly be? Like we have to guess how many monsters there are.
Yeah.
I was like maybe like a couple dozen, but he's for some reason said 2,000.
Yeah, like every
Yeah, it's
episode,
like a
every episode had a
monster per
different bad
episode.
guy, right?
Yeah. Damn, Sean.
How many episodes of
many. Oh my
Ultraman
God.
are there total?
Yeah.
By the
Yeah.
way, who posted the Buck
Plenty.
Rogers DVD set on Discord?
Are you gonna get it?
Someone posted that they found a Buck Rogers DVD set for $6 at Goodwill. I'm like, let me Venmo you that $6 plus shipping.
$6.
Yeah, for a complete set, I think. Or was it just the movie? I mean, even if it was just the first episode, that was way high. Is Way High still here? He was in chat earlier.
Yes.
Sean, you want to show? Can you show some of your Ultraman cards?
No, I can't.
Oh, I should have drawn Ultraman as for chat today. I mean, for the stream. Then.
But okay, so the thing is, there's 2,000. They're not gonna draw all 2,000 monsters, but I was gonna ask Jerry too if he wants to. I mean, it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but they're gonna start doing rounds of the monsters, and they want to know whether I would be in for that.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna do it. I can't. I don't have time.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, I think at this point, I'd rather sleep. Or actually,
Yeah, there's one female Ultraman that has like these metal ponytails. Just so ridiculous. But
That's dope. I want metal ponytails.
yes.
do you get to keep the original art, or you gotta turn in the original
Yeah, I
art?
do, but I can never show the original. Like whatever I show on social has to be approved by them. So I only showed
Really?
one piece that I did.
Oh,
I claim one. Claiming one right here. I won't.
so you can't show it on social. Wow, that's interesting.
Only, or they do want me to show it, but it's the one that's finished, colored, and approved by the
Right.
Japanese company.
And I'm assuming they're like extremely anal about details and accuracy and
Oh yeah, totally.
so they're like make this thing like half an inch bigger than the other it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, they're watching their IP. I can get it. Yeah, the company's called Tsubaraya or something. Buraya.
Now, are they paying you the same rate that they're paying Mr. Hughes? And who are the other artists?
Supposedly, that's what I'm told.
Who are the other artists that were involved?
Some of them are card painters who do watercolor or oil, and then I think one of them was I only recognize one name, and so Art Adams is one of them, and then someone else. But yeah, there's a few comic book artists.
Are you? What was I going to ask? I was going to ask another question. Shit, I forgot what I was
So, yeah, that, and then the cards that I'm doing is that Iron Man game for Upper Deck.
Are they still doing cards? I mean, the last two projects.
This is for the games. So.
Oh, for the games. Yeah, because they even made me sign a contract. And then I think I should negotiate next time they make me sign a contract for those trading cards, a cancellation clause.
Yeah, you should.
Because I'm blocking out the time to work on these things, and then it doesn't come through. And then, it's like setting up an appointment to go see the doctor and then not showing up. So how many Ultraman cards did you end up doing then?
I did 6 of them.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was gonna ask, are you coloring them too, like watercolors or digital colors?
I send them to Tom.
Oh, you're not. So you now? Do you have to pay Tom to color it, or?
I do, yeah. I pay him a page to color a card.
Can you make prints out of it and sell the prints at shows, or they said specifically no?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I can't. It's in the contract.
Are you going to make pornographic Ultraman cards to sell?
Absolutely.
The metal ponytail one.
Under a pseudonym. So that.
Don't worry, Japan approves of that.
Yeah.
You ever wonder when you're watching Ultraman, like he's obviously metal, but then when he's fighting those monsters, how he bends his leg, and you're like, yeah, that's there's no hinge there or anything.
Is it metal? I don't think it's metal. I think it's like
metallic.
It's like a cosmic kind of material, right? Has it ever been defined fully as metal?
Yeah. Also, there's so many different takes on Ultraman in terms of like what origins are and whether he's ever fights on Earth ever. So
Have you seen the Ultraman movie? Did they give you the Ultraman movie to watch?
no.
There's an animated Ultraman movie too.
Yeah. So all this Ultraman stuff is heading over here soon. So Jeff Gomez, the person we know from Valiant, he's head of he's a transmedia type guy, which is basically you take any property and try to find all these different, exploit it in all different platforms. So kind of hit the jackpot with Ultraman.
Yeah, he's done it. He takes these properties, and then if you have like an idea, he'll create a Bible for the universe for you.
I feel like I said Ultraman so many times that Tommy Lee Edwards is going to show up. He's going to appear.
They like the Kamen writers. I don't think Tommy.
He did, but I think he also like.
He's Ultraman, yeah.
Is he an Ultraman guy?
Yeah.
I thought he was a Kamen writer guy.
I think it's both.
He's a Godzilla guy. I know that.
It's kind of like all in the same little realm.
I'll see him this weekend.
Have you been hanging out with him? Because it seems like he's been busy, and then we don't see each other. I don't think you guys even see each other as much as you used to.
He was in LA this last week. He didn't even say hello.
Oh, there you go.
Granted, I think he was with his wife. They were on like an anniversary trip, so I mean, I wouldn't have been able to hang out.
You're out of the country like half the year now. It's hard to tell where you are.
You know, if he did contact you, he'd be driving your car around all over the place.
Can you do that if you visit?
Last time he came, he stayed at my place and drove my car. Well, all right. What do you guys think about this? Time for some watercolors? Huh?
Oh, you haven't done that in a while, right?
Yeah, I don't even know where my watercolors
is this a commission? Is this a commission, or is this?
This is a commission for America.
Oh, okay.
This is the chat's choice, right?
Chat's choice.
Oh, Kevin P. West did a lot. I saw a lot of his Ultraman card series, and he's posting them all in Discord right now. So they look really, really good. I like the monsters. They're so retro.
All right. How's this looking?
That's some serious chainmail. So volumetric.
At some point in the chainmail, it gets lost in terms of the pattern. Gets messed up.
Yeah.
But because
always
it's really
hard.
it's really difficult to like maintain this.
It wouldn't work in real life.
Yeah.
So it's a nightmare to draw.
There would need to be.
I think you might have that a little bit of a camera angle issue, or we see the parallax.
Right here, right? Right here.
Oh, I mean, it's just that we're seeing you're drawing from an angle.
Well, 4 years ago around this time, I think the voting was going around the same.
Oh, was it? Wow, that's.
I just remember being depressed around this time, like 4 years ago.
I was drinking at my friend's house. That's all I remember. Been buying one, so you know.
We also forget Rudy Giuliani. We also forget that Rudy Giuliani was caught in a movie with his pants down in a hotel room.
I never forgot that. That is always in my mind.
And then after the election, they held a press conference outside of a lawn mowing or lawn
That was
service.
Oh, yeah.
hilarious. The Four Seasons lawn service. It's the same as the regular Four Seasons.
Do you think COVID and smartphones, or COVID and smartphones, has contributed to this lack of memory retention in the U.S. population?
I think so.
Like,
I
remember,
think
like
it's
during
more.
COVID, like everybody, like even now, I forget stuff. I like things that I just thought about, like, oh, I'm gonna do, and then the next second I forget what I was gonna do.
Yeah,
But
that
no,
sounds
that's old
familiar.
age, though. That's like normal old age
Or
things.
age, but also like I think like people forget like at a much faster clip these days. No?
Probably part of that, but I think the other part is just probably our
Well,
education system. And then people are just genuinely
well, the
getting
IQ
dumb.
has been steadily going up for ever since we checking IQ, but for the first time, it went the other way, like
Yeah.
within the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a little bit of a concern. And we don't know whether it's like lead in the water or microplastics or fluoride. Who
Oh, it
knows?
went down?
Yeah, it's gone down for the first time. So people are getting the brain business isn't as what it used to be, and it could be too much internet time, or it could be something in the water or the diet. Who knows?
Something in the water.
And I know with education in general, there are people who kind of get very very good grade. Like you can get straight A's or like really high GPA, and then on the SAT do really badly because they kind of hand out good grades, especially in affluent neighborhoods. They hand out good grades, mostly because the parents just bother the teachers until they.
That's very, very true.
Yeah,
My best
so
friend's wife is was a vice principal at one of the San Diego affluent high schools, and the stories I'd hear about these kids, way worse than any poor high school around San Diego.
And they just got
They're
good
just
grades?
they're oh well, yeah. I mean, they're all going to go on to go to great, have higher education and like Ivy League schools because their parents have money. But they didn't necessarily get bad grades. They were like doing cocaine in the bathroom and just being, terrible. But yeah, they never had to face any consequences. So mommy and daddy are rich. So
All right, let me go find the watercolor set. I think it's
and I think people also kind of stopped reading. And I'll admit I was never a big reader. I don't think you were either, right, Bernard? Like that never really just took a book and read it, like a big book.
I would read a lot of magazines. I didn't read a lot of books.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. Like,
I mean,
ironically, I would read it now. I would love to read now, but I just can't believe I was so against it when I was younger.
I mean, I read the
I
game.
think it's finding something that you like.
Yeah, I read the game.
Yeah, I think you had to read it to do it, right? It's like reading your comic book scripts, right? You have to.
When they didn't have the they didn't have the audiobook out at the time.
Maybe we should read that. We should read that on stream, and I'll do my my live reaction to it.
Well,
Yeah, I would love to hear this.
I'm listening to the audiobook on YouTube. It's available on YouTube right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously like pirated. And all right, let me go get the watercolor set, and then entertain the
Wow.
masses real quick.
Sounds like a classic book for Bernard.
Yeah, I don't know if that book. I mean, obviously it didn't age that well, and I think even Neil Strauss wants to distance himself.
Oh, he's
from
been
that.
completely, totally distancing himself from it.
But you know, I mean, it has great lessons in there. I mean, I wouldn't use it for that purpose, but it's basically like that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and you can apply to everything, like family life, work life, and any type of social relationship. Except they kind of focus it all towards getting laid.
I thought it
All
was you
good
like negging women for the most part.
Yes. And I don't think it was really ever very concrete on what you're supposed to do, because at some point you're supposed to do the negging, but at some point you're supposed to like profess that you just are head over heels in love with someone, and that's the opposite of negging. And it all depends on when you do it, at what stage.
Mind games.
Yeah, mind games.
That's how you trap them.
Yeah, you can't touch that subject anymore. So.
No, I'd love to. I love talking about stuff like that with men that feel very strongly about acting that way, and making them feel bad. So.
But yeah, a lot of that stuff was taken from other books, like all those books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, and so I think it just
was pretty positive though. That's it. I mean, I never read it. I think I picked up a book that said something like "You're a badass," and I flipped through it like, what is this book about? And then I realized it's for people who have like low self-esteem, and if anything, I have very extra high self-esteem, probably too high, but that's fine. So I found it awkward, but I think in the end, that's what revolves around. You want people like you, and it has to be the self-esteem of being yourself and how to get along with people. So
self Aristotle. It's funny if you watch the audiobook or listen to it on YouTube, the guy that reads it, I don't know if it's a guy reading it or if it's the actual audiobook, but the voice actor, some of the words that he says, he pronounces like, I'm like, is this guy American or is he like, because he says like urine, he says urine. I'm like, what?
Which book is this? And why is it talking about urine?
I don't know. There were a couple words in there where, like for example, like one word was urine, but the guy is like urine, and I'm like, I mean, is it pronounced urine in Australia or South Africa or something, or is it I mean, it's English, but is it? I don't know.
AI, yeah, it could be.
I don't think it's AI. I don't think it's AI. But here, let me see. I need some water. We're almost there. How long have we been on?
8:30.
2 hours. Almost 2 hours.
I'm tired. This time change is like
making
me really wet.
That took me a rest. I almost never get surprised by a time change, but I totally didn't know about it.
Maybe that's better.
Need a drink. Urine. Or maybe it's just that we're shifting into an alternate dimension. I don't think yeah, Kevin, I don't think it's AI. All right. We go. Any watercolor suggestions, Sean? Since you're the watercolor expert, Mr. Chen. Still there? Oh no! Did the Discord crash? Oh, the Discord crashed. Ah. Hold on.
Self-confident, right?
Hello?
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Hey.
Bernard's back.
Okay, we're back. My Discord is crashing, so I think we're reaching that part of the night where the computer is like, I need to go into sleep mode.
It's overheating. Hey, how would you feel if a government agency broke into your house and then took your bird and euthanized it?
Oh my god, I was so sad about that.
What happened?
Oh my god, I'm so good.
That was a weird story, though. I don't even know who to think. I mean, in the end, a squirrel died, but then he's not supposed to keep wild animals in the house, right?
Right. Oh yeah. Where was that? Where did that? Oh shoot. All right. Damn. Hold on. Stream. Going to my backup Discord. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Kind of.
Can you guys hear check, can you guys hear Sean and Courtney?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, cause so what state did that happen in?
Was it in New York?
Was it you, Sean?
It was Sean.
I mean,
I can't hear Sean now. Can you hear us?
Sean? Is Sean? I can't hear Sean either. Yeah, I don't think he's speaking. Is he saying anything?
It doesn't show. Uh-oh.
I think we
he's
lost
trying
Sean.
We can't hear him.
Well, his balloon is not lighting up.
Yeah, that's true. But I saw him go try to mute and unmute himself. This is weird. That's weird. Maybe if you pop off and then pop back on.
Quit your Discord and then restart it. So, yeah. So what happened? Somebody ratted out a narked on a internet squirrel and raccoon household or something.
There's an orphaned squirrel, orphaned raccoon, and they became like a little Instagram famous. And I don't really know too much of the details, but yeah, they came, they took the squirrel and raccoon, and I guess the squirrel bit one of the guys who took it, and it didn't have any rabies or anything like that. But then that's when they.
So that's why they euthanized it, not because they just took them to euthanize it.
Yeah. So, but then they also decided to euthanize the raccoon. But usually in those cases, yeah, they can take the animal, but they take them to like a sanctuary, or because there's plenty of animals that are rescued that are not, they they won't be able to survive in the
Right.
wild. So
Yeah, because
they're taken to places where they can live out their life and kind of, with humans taking care of them. So it seemed like pretty unnecessary.
and the lady
Sean?
that reported them was also a conservationist, or
That I'm not sure. Sean, we still can't hear you, by the way.
You hear me now?
okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Chet, can you guys hear Courtney and Sean?
I think they can hear.
Okay.
I guess Sean was saying they saw them on OnlyFans, but
So
does
what?
it mean that they were doing anything bad
The
with
squirrels on OnlyFans?
No, it's totally separate from the squirrel thing. I mean, imagine what could happen if you had your pants down and there was a squirrel there. That's not a safe situation.
Is that what happened?
No, I think they were completely unrelated. I think he just put the squirrel on Instagram, and that got a lot of visits. Then everyone would tune in either because they loved the squirrel or because they thought he was a hunky guy. And I think he was making a lot of money through the squirrel thing, so he said, well, I'm going to do an OnlyFans and just kind of like try to hit all the bases. And I think he was doing well. And then someone reported him as keeping live animals in his house, mostly because they're probably offended by the OnlyFans, or because he was doing some sort of sinful activity.
Wow.
But
the OnlyFans was
OnlyFans if they weren't looking for sinful activity.
But the OnlyFans was only the guy, or did he involve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it didn't involve the squirrel or the raccoon. So supposedly when the government agency broke in to his house, I think I don't know if they really had a right to do that, but I think it was within their jurisdiction. So supposedly one of the guys got bitten by the squirrel, and if you're bitten by a wild animal,
Yeah, they gotta put it down.
yeah, you got to put it down because you can only check for rabies by kind of splitting the brain open. So I think everything was above the board, but it just seems like, in the end, they had to kill a squirrel. So, but, I wouldn't say that the guy was completely innocent because he shouldn't be. Well, I mean, we keep wild animals in our house all the time.
Okay.
But, I don't make a big deal. I don't make a lot of money from it or anything. It's just there.
Yeah, the one wild animal you make money from is not even in your house. It's like some random squirrel in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's outside. So that one's never been in our house.
But they put down the raccoon too, though.
You know what you should do, Sean, is you should try to capture that raccoon and then stuff him. Like, get a taxidermy. Right?
To what end? What would that do?
Well, I mean, just to memorialize like how profitable that one squirrel was to you.
Yes. 7-second video.
Yeah. Can you guys see the color in this piece or no? A little barely.
It's a light tint. Yeah.
It's a very, but
But that's enough.
it's actually much more bluer in person. And the paper is starting to warp. So how do I combat that, Sean?
Oh.
Should I have taped the paper down first?
That doesn't really help. I mean, you just have to have the right paper. But warping is all watercolor paper does it. As long as it doesn't affect your coloring.
Let me get some skin color. What's some skin color?
That lady in Texas that reported that guy, I don't know if she's been doxxed, but she had to delete her socials. Imagine like how your life changes because you did that.
Well, was how beloved was the squirrel?
Oh, I think people were really into it because it had like crazy, like 500,000
Yeah.
followers.
Is she like
I mean,
super religious or something, or?
No, I think ironically she's a wildlife photographer.
That's what it. Yeah, she's like a conservationist, right? Like a wildlife photographer. Oh.
I thought at first they were gonna return the animals. Like, I thought that's what I first saw.
Well, how
I don't
long?
think they can because it's against the law for them to give it back. So unless he
I think
became
it's
certified.
Yeah, certified. If you become a certified, there's proper ways of doing it, which he obviously did not. But that's what, or I saw. I didn't click on it to read it, but it first said the squirrel and raccoon were taken, but they're looking to be returned. And then the next thing I saw was squirrel and raccoon were euthanized.
Where was the raccoon and squirrel? Where do they live?
Yeah,
the guy.
Huh?
Yeah, but in what state?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was New York.
Oh,
Oh, you mean like all? Wait, you mean all squirrels and raccoons? Where do they live?
No,
no,
this one. Like
where did that
like-
dude live?
the lady that reported them lived in Texas, but these people lived in New York.
Hmm.
Wow. Yeah, we were doing totally legal stuff when we had that bird.
I've seen Instagram things where people have raised the sparrow, but it is technically illegal to raise like wildlife, right?
Yeah.
Depends where you're at.
Because there was also like was it a few years ago where they had the social media where like this old couple in New York was the old lady was capturing birds like sparrows to eat. Did you see that one?
I didn't know you can eat. There's not much there to eat.
It was not much, so that's why she was catching like a whole bunch, like just snagging them. They're sitting on the park bench, and she would like throw breadcrumbs, and then the birds would come around, and then she would snag them and put them in a bag.
I saw an old man in San Francisco Chinatown catch pigeons in one of the parks there. I don't know what he was doing with them.
I do. I know what it's doing.
That was like 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's in New York.
Well, we getting close to calling it a night.
Looks like you're almost done. That's good skin tone there. It's a very heavy metal type illustration.
Yeah,
The European style.
I'm
it
trying.
is. It's something different that I haven't really seen this style from you.
Trying to invoke a little Sean Chen watercolor skills.
Man, you wouldn't believe what I have to go through to get results on watercolor. Since I'm so new to it, I basically digitally color it first, and then I try to imitate with watercolor. Because these are commissions, and the watercolor ones are expensive, so they're paying a lot of money, and I can't screw it up. And there's a lot of hours put into the ink line. So just to be on the safe side, I scan it in and then completely color it completely as if it were a comic book cover in Photoshop, and then I use it as a guide to put down the wet media.
So you're like a master painter then. I mean, that's what like all the master painters used to do was they would actually paint almost a fully realized version before they went into the actual painting, like a miniature version. Yeah.
That's,
Like all the classical Renaissance painters, before they worked on the final painting that we all know, there's like multiple studies and variations of like small on a smaller scale.
Yeah. Well, and with those, you can kind of backtrack because if it's oil or something like that, you can go over it. But I think with watercolor, I've never found a way to erase watercolor. So if anything goes wrong.
But that's watercolor for you. That makes it look like it's intentional. I think that's the nice thing about it. Like you go a little out of the line, it's kind of intentional. It's supposed to get slaughterly.
Yeah, I guess my thing is about the color choices because in the background, yeah, I can color it in Photoshop, but then you can move the slider around and the sky turns from green to red to purple to blue, and then you can see all of it, and you're like, oh, green. I wouldn't think green would work, but it looks really nice, and then I'll just copy it in watercolor.
I see what you mean now.
Yeah, it's not a good way to work because it just takes too long, but I figure I'm kind of new to this and I eventually will stop doing that, but I can't mess up with these.
We will stop when there's 270.
What do you,
270?
yeah, that's the magic number, right?
270.
Wait, stop what?
Stop the stream.
Oh.
Oh, North Carolina, huh? They called
Yeah,
North
so-
Carolina for Trump.
270 is it's the number where you just give up all hope. Because
Well, 270 is the winner. Whoever reaches 270 first wins. But they just called.
North Carolina was always going to go to Trump.
yeah, of course.
The governor, they voted a Democratic governor in there.
Yeah, but I don't know. That doesn't surprise me though.
Well, I'm looking at the map and wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I mean, it's kind of believable. This is what happened like 8 years ago.
It's less believable for us because we're on the coast and we forget the majority of the country is in between, and that's the majority. So we just our whole world are the people like right around us, and it's not a good representation of the rest of the country.
Is the majority of people in the middle? I don't know if they are,
I mean,
but
well,
I mean,
you're in California, I'm in New York, and then there's the whole rest of the country that we don't know that well.
I know that, but I don't know how many people actually live. I mean, there's Texas is big, and then there's other major cities, but I think for the most part, America's population are highly coastal.
Is D. Rogers still here? Did we give this away last time? We probably did.
You want to give it away to the same person just for extra good luck.
That's what I'm asking for. Like, who won this last time?
Remember that the Redskins used to have that one guy who owned them. Well, a long time ago when they won the Super Bowl, he was wearing a certain outfit. It was like brown, had big collars and everything, typical of the 70s. And then every time they got back to Super Bowl, he would wear the same outfit
Yeah.
with a giant collar and a lot of brown.
It's called superstition. You gotta do your part for the team.
Right.
Somebody, we should maybe move the stream. Well, 4 years ago, I was streaming from a different computer. That computer has since been retired, so there's no way of getting that computer back.
You had two birds back then.
I had two birds, yeah. So there are differences.
Damn, Sean, you just love talking about death of animals, don't you?
I gotta go dig up Beavis from my buddy's backyard.
Go buy another bird.
Kevin P. says, give it to Courtney. Although, I don't think that'll be lucky. I think that would get off. I think that would not be lucky.
What are you looking for?
White paint.
Oh,
Cause that one, he was in the rain.
oh, that's right. So you can do the rain again.
Yeah. Standing in the rain with some splatter.
Make him cry a little bit.
Oh yeah, cry.
That'll go viral. Crying Captain America.
Whoosh.
And he says she deserves it because women are getting screwed enough today. He has a good point.
What was that?
He says she deserves it because women are getting screwed enough today. He has a good point.
Yeah, I don't get it.
What is your choice of white to use?
I'm gonna use this Posca.
Oh, is that a new Posca?
New Posca.
Shake the shit out of it.
Not right.
Anything in chat? Make sure you guys Shezra, if you're on YouTube, go to the YouTube link. We're trying to migrate over to YouTube hopefully sometime soon. If we continue streaming.
We may have to.
Is Twitch going away?
I think Amazon is just very good about cutting lines that are not as profitable. So I don't think they see that much of a future in Twitch.
That's true. But I was going to start my dancing stream.
OnlyFans with a squirrel.
Yes. No dancing.
I don't need my house rated.
OnlyFans with a squirrel and
Well, Courtney has a cat.
your cat. No, but you gotta get a squirrel.
I don't think my cat would. I think that wouldn't be a good combination. My cat kind of looks like a weasel, though. I call him the little weasel, so he's a funny little guy.
It's the same cat that we witnessed you adopting.
Yeah, the kitten. Yeah, he's crazy. He is absolutely nuts.
Does he destroy anything in your house?
No. Mainly just every once in a while claw his nails on things, but he's a good boy. But he's like a dog. He likes to play a lot.
Hey
Like-
Courtney, if you want us to call pet services on your cat, let us just wink.
Well, he has an older sister that she doesn't want to play, so and he always harasses her. So I had to put him in timeout today.
I see you have two cats.
One of them was Will's cat, the older one. Yeah. she's like an old. She's like a cat. How you know it? Like she's like a testy lady. But I love her. She's good. She's a good cat. Yeah, and then Nikki's the crazy weasel. And yeah, he likes when I just chase him around the house. He fucking loves that. And I tackle him, and he is obsessed with that. He's like a dog.
So you're gonna be able to dance when it comes time to start your stream.
Yeah, I can dance whenever. Actually, no, I should.
You need to.
I'm getting older, and my lower back is bothering me more.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. I don't need practice. There's no practicing. I don't think. Maybe. Actually, I guess keeping. I've actually usually been good about it. Like if I ever went dancing out at night, I could just still dance for as long as I want to, and not have any problems.
You know what I need to do is I need to have a little. Needs to be a little stormy in the background.
The problem is you have to. Well, for me, for dancing, to dance to music, you have to.
Oh yeah.
Have to get a DJ. So that was kind of the big thing. I can't just play music because it'd be constant.
Well, we use your Jimbo. So.
Your Jimbo's a DJ?
Well, is Poop Kid here? Is he a DJ? Poop Kid highlights
I don't think so.
sidelines as a.
DJ. I mean, you can't just like put a bunch of stack a bunch of songs up.
What about the copyright of the songs? I mean.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You have to. So there are DJs on Twitch. I have a friend who's British in England, and he DJs every once in a while on Twitch. And but also, in England. And so yeah, but they don't get the strike for. But it can happen. If you play a song a certain way for too long, or
Why won't they get a strike? Because they're DJs.
if you mix the song enough, so you just have to basically kind of create your own version of the song. So I don't know. I would think that you'd be caught at some point. I don't know how they necessarily do it here. I'm sure if you played something, who knows how long it would take for them to notice it.
Because
Or
nobody
I think
watches
other
the
people
stream.
Well, I don't think, you can save your stream to Twitch, right? So I think a lot of people just do it live and they don't save it.
Right.
And there's that. But even if you put it on, YouTube or other things, then you can have problems there.
Would you save your streams?
I guess you wouldn't need to, but I wouldn't want them to shut it down fully. I mean, that's what I would need. I would need DJ. Like Spotify has this, it has kind of a mixing mechanism you can kind of turn on, but it only does it for the first and last 15 seconds of the song. So.
So how do you monetize? What do people do now to monetize things? Nothing I've ever done could ever monetize.
I guess they would just tip. I guess that's basically it. I mean, it's more. It was more of the idea of just dancing in general and being like, oh, that'd be fine to do. And,
Are there specific dances that you can do for an extra tip, or?
Because
I was thinking
Dynamite dance.
I could do that. I could dance really stupid. I can make my
Jamiroquai song. he dances to?
Virtual reality.
Is that what it was? There was some song at the end of Napoleon Dynamite where he I think it's a Jamiroquai song.
Yeah. I kind of forget. And I can't. It's not that song though. Maybe. I don't know. No, I'd probably pick like take requests, kind of like how you do, Bernard. Like just be like, oh, this is all like probably hip hop. Usually is just the easiest to dance to, and then some EDM maybe per year. So like pop songs 95 or 98 or 2010 or whatever, and then kind of do that for each day or whatever to keep it.
You have a camera now, right? Before you didn't have a camera, but
I had a camera before. I think it had to do more with the streaming setup, and then I was able to kind of figure that out for the most part. But it's really the music that's the biggest problem. Because I don't know, I guess I just didn't want to get into it to run into that problem and get banned. But I can. I mean, I don't really care. Then I get banned. It is what it is.
you'd be put in which jail?
I think it put me in jail.
Jail. Your jail's just a shadow ban.
That's true. Spotify has copyright free music. Yeah, I'm sure it's not that good though.
Imagine dancing to copyright-free music.
That's probably. I could do it. I pride myself in being able to dance to many different types of music. I think I had a friend who, when I was a resident DJ and he was the resident, I was a resident go-go dancer and he was a resident DJ. He makes like a lot of different music, which I liked. I remember one time he put on like Red Red Wine by
Red Wine.
Yeah, and I was like,
UB40.
dude, yeah, UB40.
Stay close to
You
me.
can dance to that.
No, you can't dance to
Very
it
slow dance.
because it's so slow. And I was like, please, like that song's fine, but.
What about dancing to classical music?
I know. I've never tried dancing to classical music, but I'm sure I could. Yeah, it has a beat.
That's fun to do ballet, right? That's not ballet shit.
Yeah, I can't do ballet. I can't do that. I'll have my own. I guess at that point it might become like a little bit interpretive dance, which is a typical white woman thing. So I think it'd be fun.
All right. Let's see here. How should we do this? Splatter.
Pro white splatter.
Pro white.
Be careful. It could start looking like a splatter or something else real quick.
I don't see any splatter coming out.
Is it too thick?
Well, no, it's pretty. I think it's too. Not thick enough. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, Canned Heat by Jamiroquai. Maybe.
Canned Heat. You can do that crazy dance, that nerd dance.
I would do my own version of it. Like, it's yeah. Everybody does their own version. When I go dance with all my friends, we all dance in very different ways. So whenever we like joke around about how each other dance, it would just be kind of like a joke. Like when there's a girl who was clearly a cheerleader for years, so she kind of had cheerleader moves. It was kind of funny. And then other people danced just really different ways. So yeah. probably practice though. It's been a while.
Big day.
Yeah. Well, there's no other like dance clubs. Usually, I feel like.
We should have a dance drawing spar,
Yes.
right?
So what do you have to switch off?
2 minutes. No, like 2 minutes. Courtney dances the character, and I draw the character, and whoever evokes that character at the end the best wins.
Dance the character.
Yes. Well, if you want to win, just invite a lot of perverts onto the stream. Bernard will never win.
Oh, I can take my shirt off. I mean,
That is a upper hand that you have.
yes.
I don't know. How would I dance the Hulk? Does the Hulk have a dance?
You would have to do a Hulk dance, and so it would have to be like Pictionary or charades, where you can't say it's the Hulk, right? You can't say like me Hulk, because that would be like cheating. But you could do something where it could be.
Just look at how Reagan interpreted all of Australian urchins. Did the
That
same
was
thing.
terrible. That was.
The kangaroo, the whale, the beach whale.
What was the best Halloween costume this year you guys saw?
I saw well, on Instagram, there was a woman who wanted to be Prince, and then her boyfriend was Purple Rain. So that looked cool. And then another one was, I don't know if it was a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. There was a guy dressed up as a pinata, and then somebody behind them kept on hitting them with like one of those pool
Just hitting you.
noodles, and then he would just throw candy at people. I'm like, I want to do that. Yeah, I want to throw candy at people.
Did anybody? Oh, by the way, you see anybody go as Mudang?
No.
By the way, Mudang chose Trump. The zookeepers had like 2 pieces of fruit out. One for one labeled Trump and one labeled Kamala, and
Are you serious?
Mudang chose
Did that really happen?
chose the Trump fruit. Yep. So fuck Mudang.
Okay, when people says I can dance on the green screen, and then I can just just be a little dancer on the screen. That'd be kind of funny.
I don't know what else to do to this.
No, it looks great. It looks finished.
I think we're done.
I think you're done.
I think we're done. All right.
Ew, Ted Cruz won.
Ted Cruz won again?
Oh, wow.
What the f- What? God damn. Ugh. You know, times like these, I'm like, I'll go into politics. Just Holly too.
They called it for Ted Cruz?
Is that called?
I don't know.
It's called for them at least.
Arizona. Josh Hawley, 2? What? Wow.
Rick Scott
El Magusi wants, can I have this piece? Well, El Magusi, we're gonna give it away since nobody claimed it.
Wait, I thought this. Oh, this is for the stream. Never mind.
Yeah. So, all right.
I can't take it.
Why? Who won it last time? I gotta look it up.
I think I did the same person.
You guys remember? If that person is here tonight, that won this Captain America sketch 4 years ago, I might have to give it to that person, right? Or arrange some kind of contest that that person wins. Let me see if I had a long list of prize winners, but I haven't given away stuff recently. We should get back to giving away stuff. So Sean, let's see. Sean, why don't you text me the name of a state?
Well, how is that? What is he? Person who's closest
Well,
geographically, or like?
yeah, person who's closest geographically, and if there's 4 or 5 states, bordering that, then we'll do another runoff contest.
Oh, God. You can make me difficult.
No, it's just a two layered contest. That makes it a little bit more fun. I mean, eventually there's going to be these murder camps that we're all going to have to participate in. You're either going to have to snitch on your neighbor. That's already happening. They snitched on the raccoon and squirrel. So, all right, chat. Text in chat. We're going to give this sketch away. It's Captain America 2024 election night sketch. It's open to everybody in chat today. Text a state. Type in a state. A United States state. I should have said maybe also, the second part will be a territory. But right now it's a state. And whoever guesses the state wins. And then if no one guesses the state, then we'll do the next closest one. What if it's like 2 states away?
Yeah, so I think it's very hard to determine who wins.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. We'll figure it out when we get there. Open to everybody on stream. This is only half of the page. I'm gonna cut the paper. I think this is a little bit better than.
Yeah, you see, you got better 4 years ago.
Do you think this is a little bit better?
I haven't seen the other one, but yeah, I think.
Let me
I
see.
mean, you've been drawing so much. I mean, no one puts out more mileage than you because you draw fast and you draw a lot. So, I mean, I think we've both been drawing, but since you draw 5 times faster than me, you've drawn 5 times more. So you can improve really fast.
Yeah, but I think I've reached a point where I'm like digressing.
Well,
Just mentally, Bernard.
yeah.
Still very good at drawing, don't worry. Sean, what makes you think you're slow? Like, is it erasing or?
Well, I just know
Is it a chromosomal thing or? I don't know. The last year, that last one I drew. Oh, I actually drew in the rain splatter. The blue was a little bit more. Well, that might have been a filter.
Man, it's real raining on him in that one.
Yeah, that one, the face is a little. I think the mouth is a little weird. But
Even with the extra large chin on that one.
yeah, he had an extra large chin. His eyes were closed. This one, the eyes are open. And it's a little bit darker in the chest area. Shield's a little bit smaller. Shield's a little bit better back then. Fix the shield.
Everything was a little sharper back then. Very sharp angles.
Could be the it could be the young age. All right, are we done with the guessing?
Did you have COVID in between both drawings?
Had COVID in between both drawings? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a pre-COVID drawing and a post-COVID drawing. Everything these days, when you're comparing everything, is like, was it pre-COVID or post-COVID? And then you, if anything's bad, you blame it on the COVID.
Yeah, that was a pre-COVID. This is a post-COVID drawing.
Looks like COVID helped. Good.
Courtney, did you guess the state?
I did.
She did.
She did. All right, let me see. Hold on. Lurky lurk here. You got to close it off. Are we done with the guessing?
There's only like 3 or 4 guesses, right?
Really? Only 3 or 4 people? El Magusi, you don't want to guess the state?
He did.
El Magusi guessed? Okay, Oklahoma. Wow. Okay. Nobody else wants this? So I guess some people know that I might not mail it to you until the next presidential election.
We might be dead by then. We will be rounded up.
Kevin P. West, I just finished the Captain America comic. I guess I can show you guys the cover. Let me show you guys the cover.
Oh, so you got to do the cover. Is there
I
any
got to do a
variants?
variant cover. I didn't get to do the cover. But I got to do a variant cover. I'll show that on
You get to do a variant of your own book.
here. Yeah. They were nice enough to let me do a variant cover. So this is the variant cover.
Of the motorcycle.
Ooh.
Can you see, or is it too blown out?
On the Rainbow Bridge, isn't it?
The Rainbow Bridge. They're riding on the Rainbow Bridge on the way to
Oh, he's on
Asgard.
the back of the bike. Okay.
Yeah, he's on the back of the bike. And because it's a variant cover, there's no need for any of the trade dressing, the title, logo, or anything.
Yeah,
So-
I dig those scales. Are those scales, like, did you draw them in ink first, and then
Yeah,
they almost look like they're digital?
and then there's a shadow layer on top. So I thought I wanted to go in and make sure that each scale gets replicated, like in shadow.
Wow. Holy cow.
Because sometimes we'll just do a smooth, like, right? And you'll get like a straight line. I wanted to have it like each individual scale, because that's how it should look, right?
That really makes the drawing.
And then how are the details on the bike, Sean? Since you know you're a motorcycle enthusiast,
Whatever.
I made sure I draw the cable in there for the brakes. Is that the proper hand? Is that the proper hand?
Even on the cover, you would do that.
Yeah. That's a proper hand, right?
Very, very thin cable. Gotta be careful.
Yeah.
You know, it's a superhero. You want to make sure it's a little dramatic there. It's got a cable. It's got like the side view mirrors. You know, sometimes people forget to draw the side view mirrors. Then what else? That's all I
Oh,
know.
let me ask you: did you draw one side and then mirror it for the other, or is this something you have to?
No,
Does
it's
this exist as a?
it's drawn.
Okay, so they have an original of this.
Yeah. It's drawn. I mean, look, the A is.
Everything's it's so symmetrical that you could have drawn half of it and flipped it.
Yeah, I could have.
Takes so much time.
Volstagg is not. He's I mean, there's some digital enhancements in there. Like you can see, I went in there with a digital brush, added a little bit more. The Rainbow Bridge is digital. And so he's like saying, charge. Anyways, I really like this issue. It's 30-something pages. So, I can't show you guys. I mean, Marvel is a little bit more strict in showing work.
You should do it in 1 month.
I did it, I guess I can show you this page. This is a pencil drawing. I didn't really like this. I went with something else. Uh, 30 pages. 30 pages. Eesh. 30 pages. Well, is that it for the guessing? Who won?
It's like 4 votes.
Only 4 votes. Are there only 4 people watching? Holy shoot! What happened to Lee's raid? Everybody left. All right.
They got rounded up.
Okay. Well, it's 4 people. It looks like, just based off of geography, Sean texted me New Mexico.
Oh,
So usually first time guessers win.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is closest to New Mexico,
Yeah,
right? Look at that
I
map.
think so.
Oklahoma actually borders New Mexico.
Yeah.
That little territorial leg there that goes out, the little dog leg with a tail. It looks like El Magusi gets their wish.
Cool.
All right, well, we would have covered shipping. So El Magusi, please text me your address. We will cover the cost of shipping in the continental U.S. All right, if you're just watching, make sure you hit the follow. This might be our last stream.
Are you saying that every time?
We're trying a new marketing gimmick. You know, we're trying to make sure that at one point that every stream had boobies. And now we're saying that this is the last stream ever, possibly.
And that's supposed to get people to watch.
I
Possibly.
feel like that makes me expect them not to be on the next week.
Well, what do you guys want to do? You want to drink or you want to head out of here? It's midnight over there. 12:30. You guys got to go to work. Yeah. All right. Well, let's head out of here. Thank you for watching, everybody. I tried to refrain from talking about the election. We'll talk about it if we ever stream again. Outhouse Cartoons is a good rate, says James Quill. Okay. I can't believe it.
What a name.
I can't believe this.
Hmm.
Outhouse Cartoons. Let me find that raid. Any last words, Courtney?
No. May God have mercy on us all. And yeah, hope to see everybody next week.
Sean, any last words?
I think that kind of summed it up.
It took me an hour to vote. There were actually a lot of propositions.
Yeah. What are all those? I didn't vote up on that stuff.
They're confusing.
Well, a couple sites. It took me I waited about an hour in line to vote. 45 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour. And while I was waiting, I was reading up on all the propositions. So, all right. Well, thank you everyone for drawing. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Jimbo. Thank you, Mr. Joshua resubbed 35 months. Thank you, Mr. Joshua. I didn't see that. Carson McKinney resubbed last week. He was at a convention. Is he at a convention this week or last week? Are we gonna raid soon? Is it raiding now?
It is very slowly.
Take care, everybody. Be safe.
Check out Kevin P. West Ultraman cards.
Check out Kevin P. West Ultraman cards. I'm gonna hit the raid. Take care. Good night.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. All right. Did we raid?
Yep, this guy's really fancy. His art's not that good, but he got a fancy channel.